Hello, and welcome to our services management case study on the widely renowned Turkey Leg Hut located in the historic 3rd Ward of Houston, Texas. This project is presented by Aaliyah Brown, Michelle Cow, Jeremy Knatzer, Megan Flowers, and Christina Garcia of the Conrad Hilton College of Hospitality Management. This presentation is a service analysis which will outline the company's history, our research methodology, a service quality analysis, and make recommendations for overall improvement of the business. Turkey Leg Hut has ties to the Houston Rodeo. Sale of the famous smoked turkey leg started as a side hustle for the prices in parking areas of the rodeo in 2015. By 2017, they had enough traction for the first brick and mortar location on Washington Street. The following year, they moved to their current home on Alameda in Houston's historic 3rd Ward. By 2019, business was booming, but infighting between owners and lawsuits from residents of the 3rd Ward over hazardous pollution from the barbecue smokers has caused some hiccups and negative publicity for the business. Nevertheless, Turkey Leg Hut is poised to expand even further over the next 2 years. They currently have a fleet of food trucks compared to their humble beginnings of just one before the physical location opened. There are plans to expand the Hut brand with the Daiquiri Hut and Breakfast Hut, and owners are also developing new restaurant and bar concepts such as Savoy Urban Beer Garden. Brand Identity Prism discusses the relationship between consumers and the brand. With that in mind, the physique of the company is best characterized as elevated home cooking, Cajun and Creole food, and having an exclusive and urban environment. The brand-to-customer relationship focuses on being worth the hype of their earned reputation, acting as pillars of the community, and being responsive and engaged. Consumer Reflection is an urban socialite who craves Southern comfort and supports Black-owned business. An innovative and energetic atmosphere where the consumer can be indulgent represents the brand's personality. The company's culture exudes hometown pride with an emphasis on being Black-owned and operated and encouraging empowerment within the community by being an example of successful Black entrepreneurs who give back. Turkey Leg Hut has many celebrity patrons such as Houston Texans and Houston Rockets players, as well as many rappers like Moneybagg Yo, pictured here, which makes consumers feel they have achieved Hollywood status via accessible luxury when using the brand. Moving on to the semiotic square, we divided Turkey Leg Hut's consumers into 6 different groups. On the left are barbecue enthusiasts and those who let the good times roll, connected by seeking a party-going experience. On the right, there are loyal followers of Turkey Leg Hut and participants in the Houston cookout scene, connected by being members of the community. On the top, there is a combination of barbecue enthusiasts and loyal followers, where both traits are demonstrated by foodie influencers. On the bottom, folks who let the good times roll and the Houston cookout scene intermingle to identify a hidden group we call super savers. They fall into both categories, but could be enticed to patronize Turkey Leg Hut if given more promotional offers and incentives to visit under the context of saving. Unless actively sought out and engaged, they may not become customers otherwise. Our methodology was to gather and compile 600 reviews total from Google Reviews and Yelp into an Excel database, where we then randomized the data and selected 300 reviews for analysis. From there, the reviews were further categorized and analyzed. Highlights of positive and negative reviews can be observed in these word clouds. On the positive side, you can see service, line, food, and best. On the negative side, you can see left, bad, and service and line again. Analysis of the 300 reviews revealed 5 categories of service: authenticity, observables, confidence, reactive, and insight. As seen on the graph, authenticity, observables, and confidence had generally positive reviews, but reviews in the reactive category were primarily negative, and insight was tied with half positive and half negative. Further breakdown of comments found in reviews shows long lines, long service wait time, parking availability and cost, service quality, and employee demeanor and communication to be mostly negative. Overwhelmingly positive feedback was given for food quality, portion sizes, ambiance, overall environment and experience, and owners' community involvement. Patrons either say the time spent in line is so worth it, or that it is not worth the wait. They describe wait times of 1.5 to 2 hours in line, and some say do not believe the hype. Others felt as strongly as to say, I didn't know if I was in line at a restaurant or at Disney World waiting to get on a ride. More about the service and food wait time said we had to wait 45 minutes on a slow night. The waitress never explained the wait or apologized, and they even had to flag her down to order a second drink, and it took forever for our food to come out. We found this feedback to be frequent but situational, as other patrons say it was a very long wait, but it was as comfortable of a wait as it could be, and despite long waits in general, that ultimately the experience blew them away. Parking was found to be a common sore point. Angry reviews said you have to pay $10 for parking. Parking is a challenge on Alameda. Parking is street and neighborhood parking unless you valet. They do have valet, but it's a small lot. They will tow vehicles if they aren't in safe zones, and parking is a nightmare. Customer service reviews frequently say, I absolutely love the food, but unfortunately, I hate the service. I love supporting Black-owned businesses. However, the service is not consistent. I've had really horrible times here and really wonderful times here. Once this place works out its kinks and gets used to their high traffic, it's going to be great service every time. The only complaint that I have is their customer service. The staff members are very kind and friendly, but most of them need a lot more training. Reviews about employee demeanor say the entire staff is clueless, rude, disrespectful, and not clear with communications. I was shocked how staff treats customers. The service and waitstaff communication could improve. When staff says it will be a minute, it could be 30, 45, or 60 minutes. Please train the kids y'all have working on the phones and inside the location, and please make sure that all communication is consistent. Additionally, communication about shift change, closure, and menu items that are gone for the day were found to be poorly communicated to customers. Reviewers lamented, "We arrived at 3 p.m. and stood in line for about 30 minutes before a staff member announced the kitchen closes from 3 to 5 p.m. to do a shift change, so they wouldn't be seating anyone until 5 p.m. How can a restaurant with the name Turkey Leg Hut run out of turkey legs? And they ran out of everything we asked for." Food quality helps Turkey Leg Hut salvage many reviews as customers say, all in all, the food made up for the errors. I've yet to find anything I didn't love. Everything that I've had from their menu thus far has been excellent. Don't let the name fool you, this place can do way more than turkey legs. I've never seen meat falling off a turkey leg because it's so tender until I ate here, and everything is amazing. Customers are often surprised by the generous portions and say portion size is big enough for 2 people. The food was huge. For $20, it was a lot of food, and stated they took at least half home. For ambiance and experience, customers say it's the best food and atmosphere I've had in a restaurant in a long time. The atmosphere is everything. This place was fun and the food was amazing. They even had hookah and a DJ outside. Turkey Leg Hut has the pulse of the city. It is always busy, but the atmosphere is great. Definitely a place worth visiting. Owners Lynn and Nakia Price have been lauded for their involvement in the Houston community and propensity for giving back amid such astronomical success. Reviews highlight this by saying, "Keep it up, Turkey Leg Hut, making our community proud. If I could give y'all 100 stars, I would. Mr. Price, you and your wife floored me by showing how you guys feed the homeless turkey legs, and we love the owners for all they do for the community." Moving on to gap analysis, a common theme in food quality category was surprise and satisfaction with larger than expected portion sizes. One of the most praised aspects of the business is the atmosphere, ambiance, and hype of the experience meeting expectations. The Prices pride themselves on partnership with the community. All outside vendors for hookah and desserts are other Black-owned businesses. They frequently do turkey leg giveaways, encourage Houstonians to engage in politics via supporting local candidates and voting registration initiatives, as well as provide their services for hurricane relief in affected communities. Many customers say servers typically make good recommendations and they feel taken care of by staff. There is a high level of trust and confidence in employees. As cited in the reviews, this is up for debate. Service is either described as stellar or so poor patrons are unlikely to return. Expanding on that, analysis of reviews showed service quality was inconsistent. Reviewers said that the business is difficult to reach via phone, i.e., long hold times or never reaching them at all, and when they do get someone on the phone, oftentimes that staff member is rude and exhibits poor customer service. The vast majority of negative reviews can be summarized by line wait time, parking, and long lines. Gap 1 identified a severe lack of parking. There are many spots available for $10, but otherwise customers must fend for themselves parking in the nearby neighborhoods where residents are notorious for enforcing towing. The long line wraps around the building and down many blocks at times. It is covered by many pop-up tents with some benches throughout. This lack of infrastructure creates a framework for a negative experience. Gap 2 identified inconsistent service quality. Employee demeanor was described as rude, disengaged, and there is a lack of attentiveness in service many times. Misinformation on sold-out items is another common issue. Customers wait in the long line only to find out the item they waited for was gone by the time they were ready to order. Wait time at the table to receive service, drinks, and food is also another gap from reviews. Inconsistent line control shows from reviews that many fans, seating, and water is handed out in the long line, but that's not always the case, and many reviews said there were no such accommodations while they waited in the brutal Houston heat. This all contributes to poor delivery of service. Next, we will discuss recommendations for improvement. For parking, owners could partner with nearby garages and downtown parking lots to give priority to customers. This issue has actually already been addressed by Turkey Leg Hut owners as they recently bought the lot across the street and have begun construction on their own parking garage. For service quality, server training could be improved by role-play training exercises at least once a month, which make customer service and communication expectations clear via hands-on learning. Hire the personality. Hiring outgoing and friendly people with a positive attitude who possess the soft skills of customer service but can be trained on the luxury standards Turkey Leg Hut holds themselves to can improve service quality. Reservations. Implementing Call-em-all, a mass messaging management system to supplement the existing phone-only reservation system, would consolidate this aspect of the business. The reservation system also needs to be promoted more as it is not commonly known to be an option. Operator role. Creation of an administrative position for communication is necessary. Hiring a designated person to return calls, check voicemails, texts, and follow up with customers in a timely manner would improve communication. Existing staff could also be utilized to return calls and respond to messages during afternoon shift change when the restaurant is closed. For line control, hire designated staff and have more signage. Hiring a designated outgoing person for line control who can keep customers updated as to their line wait time and any items that become sold out while they are waiting verbally, in addition to digital signage that flashes the wait time and any 86 menu items, would assist in satisfaction with line control. Having both physical staff and signage ensures proper communication to customers. Clarity on the reservation system is needed. Whether a reservation is made by phone or text, Turkey Leg Hut needs to follow up to confirm the reservation, inform the customer they should check in via text once they have arrived, tell them where to bypass the line to be seated by the hostess, and track the required $100 deposit, which will be applied to their bill. Making the line an experience. An activity in line could be beneficial. Fans are currently used and water handed out, but this is not consistent according to reviews. Seating such as benches throughout all pop-out tents rather than only toward the front of the line, more fans and heaters in winter, in addition to drink vouchers or a coupon being handed out in line, could keep waiting patrons happier and more engaged. Other famous barbecue places such as Franklin's and Snow's are known to hand out beer, raffle off merchandise, and the opportunity to skip the line. Putting more focus on the line in these ways could help make it a part of the experience rather than the most negative aspect of the visit. A common complaint was wait time for orders to be received. Turkey Leg Hut injects their turkey legs with Cajun-flavored butter for 5 days before smoking them. It is unclear exactly what in the kitchen occurs to cause such slow service, but we theorize the problem could be mitigated by having a more organized FIFO system or first in, first out system for food inventory. Use previous sales to predict ordering needs. Utilizing historical sales data to create weekly, daily, and monthly par sheets for management would generate a more consistent purchasing and inventory system for product, aiding kitchen staff knowing how much to cook each day, and help prevent unexpected sellout of the most popular menu items. The most common theme is that there is disconnect between all the different aspects of the business and communication with the consumers about each, i.e., when the hookah and dessert vendors are there, closing for 2 hours daily for shift change, reservations being only by phone, menu items being sold out, and follow-up for service issues, to name a few. If the company can better manage communication and overall organization, patrons will be more satisfied with their experience and more likely to return, which will only further contribute to the ultimate success and expansion of the brand. Thank you all for your time in listening to this presentation today. We will now take questions.